Have you ever wondered what happened next? After all the rain stopped, after the whole world was covered in a great big silent sea. Inside a giant wooden boat, Noah, his family, all the animals. They were safe, just like God had promised. But what would they see when the door finally opened? Would the world be empty and gray forever? Was this the end of the story? It was a scary, quiet time. They had been in the dark ark for so long, listening to the sloshing of the water outside, feeling the gentle rock of the waves, and waiting for a sign, any sign at all, that God had not forgotten them. This is a story about what happens after the storm. It's a story about a special kind of remembering, a beautiful, colorful promise painted across the sky. He never, ever forgets his children. Then something happened. A little whisper that grew into a mighty whoosh. God sent a wind. The Bible says, God remembered Noah. Not a forgetful forgetting like misplacing a toy. No, this was a different kind of remembering. A deep, loving action, God saying, the time has come. The wind was the beginning of the rescue plan. The wind blew and blew across the face of the great big sea. It skimmed over the top of the water, nudging it where to go. Slowly, oh so slowly, the water began to go down. The covered world sank back into the ground and flowed into rivers. The tops of the highest mountains began to peek out from the water. Inside the ark, Noah and his family could feel a change. The boat wasn't floating as high anymore. It took a very long time, but Noah trusted. Now he trusted in the waiting. Until, with a gentle bump, the ark came to a stop. It had landed on the top of Ararat. Noah waited some more. So, he had an idea. He would send out a scout, a little winged messenger to check things out for him. First, he opened a window and sent out a raven. A raven is a big, strong black bird. It flew back and forth, back and forth. It could probably find places to rest on the mountaintops. But the raven didn't bring back the news Noah was hoping for. So, Noah decided to send out a different kind of bird. This time, he chose a dove. He sent the little dove out to see if it could find a place to land. But the world was still too wet. So it flew back to the only home it knew, the ark. Noah reached out his hand and gently brought the tired little bird back inside. Noah waited 7 more days. Then he sent the little dove out again. This was the second test. As evening came, they saw it. And this time, it was carrying something in its beak. It was a freshly picked olive leaf. This was the sign they had been waiting for. That little olive leaf was more than just a leaf. It was the first green thing Noah had seen in over a year. Imagine seeing only water. Then, suddenly, a splash of vibrant, living green. It was a picture of hope. It was God's way of saying, I am making all things new. Life is coming back. This wasn't just good news for the dove. The little leaf told them the earth was healing. The time for renewal had come. Noah knew what this meant. But he was a patient man. He waited another 7 days. Then he sent the dove out one last time. This time, the dove didn't come back. Noah wasn't sad. He was joyful. The dove not returning was the best news of all. Then Noah did something very brave. He took the cover off the ark. Bright sunlight flooded in, chasing away the shadows. Noah looked out. His heart leapt. The ground was dry. What is the very first thing you would do after being saved from a worldwide flood? Maybe run around? Noah did something else. Before he did anything for himself, he did something for God. The very first thing Noah did on the new, clean earth was build an altar. An altar is a special table for giving gifts to God. It was Noah's way of saying thank you. It was an action that showed what was in his heart. His heart was full of gratitude. He took some of the clean animals, the ones God had specially marked, and he gave them to God as a burnt offering. This was a very special way to say thank you in those days. It was a way of showing that God was the most important one of all. It was God. And Noah's heart was overflowing with love and worship for the one who had remembered him. The Bible says that when God smelled the sweet aroma of Noah's offering, it pleased his heart. It was the smell of Noah's thankful heart. And in that moment, seeing the deep love and gratitude from Noah's heart, God made a promise. It was a promise he made to himself, deep in his own heart. A promise for the whole world. And so, God made a promise. He said to himself, and then he said to Noah, never again will I destroy all living things with a flood. As long as the earth remains, he said, there will be planting and harvesting. They will never stop. This was a covenant. It's the most serious and wonderful kind of promise there is. He said, I have set my rainbow in the clouds. It will be the sign of the covenant between me and the earth. Have you ever seen a rainbow after a storm? When the rain is just stopping and the sun starts to peek through the clouds, this beautiful arc of color appears in the sky. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet. It's not just a pretty thing to look at. It's a message. So what does this story from long, long ago mean for you and for me today? It means that after every storm in our lives, God is there. Sometimes we go through hard times that feel like a flood. We might feel scared, alone, lost, as if we are floating in a big, dark boat with no land in sight. But Noah's story is our story too. It's a wonderful reminder that God always remembers his children. The story shows us that even in the darkest moments, we should look for signs of hope. For Noah, it was a tiny olive leaf. For us, it might be a kind word from a friend, a feeling that things are going to be okay. And then there is the rainbow. Every time you see a rainbow, I hope you will remember. Don't just see the pretty colors. See the promise. See God's giant, unbreakable, forever promise of mercy hanging in the sky. He is telling you, I am faithful. The storm will not last forever. I have a plan for a new beginning for you. The rainbow is God's love letter to the world, a colorful reminder that his grace is bigger than any storm we could ever face. So, let's share this story. Let's tell our friends and our families about the God who remembers, who rescues, who makes beautiful promises. And the rainbow is his beautiful signature at the end of every chapter, reminding us that his love and his faithfulness will never, ever end. He kept his promise to Noah, and he will always keep his promises to you.